Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon and welcome to my channel. And trigger warning, I hate saying that, but I'm going to be talking about some things today that might be upsetting to some people, but that's exactly why I'm sharing it. What I'm struggling with right now is upsetting to me, and I wanted to be open and authentic about what I'm trying to do to manage those feelings of frustration and, frankly, anger. So, first of all, what's the problem, right? What's my hurdle? What's my challenge? The challenge is, and this is not going to be a popular opinion, but right now I am really struggling because I am not in like with my son. Now, real brief little history here. My son, my adopted son, has a boatload of special needs, including an intellectual disability, and he struggles greatly with impulsivity. And while he's come a long way, oh, he used to strangle my other son. He tried to suffocate my dog on multiple occasions. I mean, I could go on and on and on. He's come a long way. We still struggle greatly with just basic obedience, with making the right decision, and specifically, without going too deep in the weeds here, with keeping his hands to himself when it comes to young ladies at school. And to add on to that, it's just blatant lying. We have clear expectations. He knows the rules, and he willfully disobeys over and over and over again. There is never any culpability. He will throw anybody and everyone under the bus and claim that everybody else is lying, even if he saw you see him do it with your own eyes. So I'm struggling right now because for me personally, it's very difficult to like somebody who continually lies, who continually hurts other people, and who continually knowingly disregards everything you're trying to do to help them. Now, I understand that a lot of this is due to his disability. I understand that a lot of this has to do with the fact that he has to have bumpers in place at all times. He's going to screw up. He's got to hit those bumpers because he can't self-correct. Intellectually, I get that. I know that. However, and let's be honest, or I'll be honest, my husband while he's disappointed and frustrated too, he deals with this a lot better because he's not emotive. He doesn't have an emotional reaction to it. I, on the other hand, feel things very deeply. I mean, I feel them physically. My blood pressure, unfortunately, goes up when I get angry. I'm just a passionate person, and so I react. I don't lose my temper. It just makes me really angry. I have this fire inside of me that just, gets really hot. I get bothered, and frankly, it's hard for me to look at him. I told him yesterday when he got home from school, oh boy, I'm all out of nice. When you wear people out and you just continue to make bad choices and not care and not accept responsibility and not apologize, there's no remorse, it makes people not like you. It makes people not want to be around you. So I said, if it's good or not, I don't know. I don't care. It's true. It's honest. I am all out of nice and I need a break from him. So he's spending all his free time in his room, which is better for him because then I'm not becoming more angry and I'm not losing my temper at him. But it's also giving me time to process and calm down. So that's the challenge. How am I choosing to deal with it? I know my husband is right. I think this is the very best we're going to get out of Mark. He is always going to need constant supervision. I have cameras set up in my house in different locations of the house, in the hallway in the living room. So even if he's sitting there watching TV, I can watch him. I mean, that's the extent of, that's how much supervision this kid needs. He needs adult supervision at all times, because the moment you let your guard down, the moment he thinks he can get away with something, that impulsivity kicks in and his brain ticks off. Just doesn't work. Just doesn't care. He just, lead me into temptation. He just runs into temptation like a bull in a china shop. I struggle with that. How do you manage somebody like that and not loathe them? I mean, let's be frank. I am so disappointed, angry. I would never choose to associate with somebody like this. I have chosen to remove people from my life because I don't want to be on this constant roller coaster. And my husband said the sooner I accept the fact that Mark is the way he is, the sooner I get off the roller coaster. And he's absolutely 100% right. I get that. But it's easier said than done. I keep saying I want off the roller coaster. Well, it's not my roller coaster, but yet I'm responsible for the roller coaster. So this video isn't about any answers. It's about me sharing what I'm going to be trying in the next few weeks, few months, because I absolutely refuse to let this ruin my holidays, ruin my life, ruin my health, if I'm completely honest, both physical, mental, emotional. So I was talking to Jason, and I said, I cried, to be honest with you, when he said that you're just going to have to accept this is the way he always will be. Jason said you wouldn't expect a dog to climb a tree. A dog doesn't have the capability to climb a tree. You can't expect Mark to function as a neurotypical person because he's not. And I guess I have to grieve that. And you know what? I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments on this. It's important to grieve what we wish we had so that you can move on and accept and embrace what actually truly is. I don't think that there's anything wrong in that. I think that's absolutely 100% real. I loathe toxic positivity. That's why one of my new tagline is practical positivity and stress mitigation strategies. What is practical positivity? It is a willingness to take off those darn rose-colored glasses, see things for how they are, and still be able to find positivity, still be able to be optimistic. Because you know what? Every darn flag looks red when you're wearing rose-colored glasses. So I don't like people blowing smoke up my butt. I'd rather deal in reality. And the reality is Jason is right. Mark is not changing. The only person capable of change in this equation is me. And for a moment, I cried. I allowed myself to cry, and I told Jason, you're taking all my hope away. You're telling me that it's never going to get better. It's only going to get worse. Because he is 18. He's a young man now. And it's only going to get worse because, let's face it, biology, right? And I cried. And then through my tears, I said, okay, it's not about losing all hope. It's about crafting a durable hope. It's about letting hope be agile. It's about figuring out a new possibility, a new potential outcome in light of the constraints that we have, in light of Mark's reality. I don't exactly know what that looks like, but I know that shift in perspective, I'm hopeful and optimistic that change in perspective will help me set some realistic things to look forward to in the future that I can work towards in order to achieve those. Because for a long time, I have felt like I was a failure. I didn't think that I could magically fix all of Mark's special needs. I didn't think I could magically help him work or function higher than he's capable of. But I've always worked really, really, really hard to help him reach his potential. And There have, honest to God, been many, 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 many times where I know he did not live up to his potential. He was manipulative and he was trying to get away with stuff, just like any toddler would. But intellectually, even though chronologically he's far from a toddler in a lot of ways, mentally he very much still is. The only problem is a neurotypical toddler will eventually grow out of it and be able to generalize, oh, okay, we don't do this, or this is wrong in this situation, therefore it's wrong in every other similar instance. Mark can't make those generalizations or leaps. So every single time he messes up, okay, he might have learned it for that instance, but he can't generalize that concept and apply it to future instances. So I have to admit and confess and just accept the fact that he's going to screw up, and he's going to continue to screw up, and he's going to continue to mess up, and I don't think he's capable of any culpability. And what I want is remorse. What I want is ownership of, oh, I messed up, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, because all I get is empty promises. Because he tells me he wants to do better, but I don't. His actions say another thing, because he will knowingly be devious. He will hide things. There's intentionality there. So you can't tell me if somebody's intentionally hiding something, they know what they're doing is wrong, right? That's not innocent. He knows what he's doing is wrong, because there's intent, there's planning, there's manipulation, and there's overt deceit. That takes a lot of thought. And he knows what he's doing is wrong. And that, to me, is very disappointing. So I grieve that he's like that. And I don't know if he's going to be able to overcome that. But maybe there are some ways that I can turn some of this into teachable moments. Case in point, he's lost privileges. And he's really upset about it. I mean, that's his currency, right? In order for something to have gravity or meaning, it has to have currency. It has to have value. And so he was going swimming with his, he's in an employment training transition program not at school. He's past the 12th grade now. But because he's special needs and still on an IEP, he goes to this employment training or employment transition program. It's called ETP for short. And he does work training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Thursdays, he was getting the opportunity to go swimming with everybody else. It's an adaptive swimming program, and it was a big deal to him. And originally we said no because of some poor behavior and choices that he made at the beginning of the year, just 2 weeks into the school year, mind you. And we were very clear. We were very overt that, okay, here are the expectations. Specifically, the expectations were hands to self. You don't touch anybody else. You don't get in anybody else's bubble. You don't touch them. You don't let them touch you. You hands to self. I don't know how much more clearer I could be. And we told him, if you break this rule, if you fail to obey this, you lose swimming. You can't go swimming anymore. Why? Because you can't be trusted. Why? Because you made bad choices. Why? Because you know better and now you have to do better. Well, Mark did not do that. He was caught touching a girl on the bus underneath his coat. That's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to get more upset. But what happened? He lost swimming. And I hate to say it was great, but it was a win in one sense, because I didn't lose my temper. And I was able not to lose my temper because I wasn't making a decision. I was simply responding to the situation. He knew the expectation. He knew the consequence. And now he was experiencing the fallout of having made a bad choice. And, oh, did he cry me a river. But I'm going to miss swimming. I'll bet. And that's exactly why we were very clear about the expectations before we even let him participate. So right now, as I'm filming this video, Mark is sitting in his room feeling sorry for himself. And I'm filming this video because I'm feeling sorry for myself. I am just as frustrated in myself as I am with Mark. Why? Because while I didn't lose my temper with him, I was very calm. And I just told him, Mark, you knew the consequence. And I had him repeat it, and he was able to tell me, hands to self. I said, what does that mean? He said, not touch anybody. I said, did you do that? Then he lied and said no. And then he told me the teacher lied. I mean, it was just, oh God. I wanted to hand the boy a shovel because he's just digging himself a deeper ditch. But yeah, I'm not in a good place mentally or emotionally. But that's what I'm trying to turn my attentions to. Practical positivity. Okay, how can I build a durable hope? What does that look like? How can it be agile? How can I be optimistic and positive in the light of knowing he's not going to get better? And the problem is, I have to have some hope. I have to be positive. Because it's hope that gives us the energy to keep going. It's hope that gives us the push, the motivation we need to get up again after falling again. I'm exhausted, and getting up and doing this again takes energy, mental energy, physical energy, emotional energy. And the only way I know how to get that energy is through hope. But I have to figure out how to cope in the meantime, too. I have to mitigate the fallout because Mark will screw up again. So I need to create a plan for, okay, how am I going to move forward next time? If I want off the roller coaster, I need to learn ways to stop getting on the roller coaster with him. Yes, I'm responsible for him, but I cannot control him. I can only control myself, and I can only control my reaction and my responses to his behavior. I no longer take personal culpability for his poor decisions. That's one of the reasons we chose not to take guardianship of Mark. When you take guardianship of somebody, you are legally responsible for their actions and choices, and I refuse to take that on. Will I help him as much as I possibly can? Absolutely. Will I do everything in my power to make sure Mark does the very best that he can? Absolutely. Will I be held legally responsible should he break the law? No. End of story. No. It ends there. And I've been very clear with him about that. I've even thought about taking him to our local jail for a tour, put a little fear of God in him. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on. I guess that's where the nope comes in, right? Hope, cope, nope. That's my little thing. In fact, I think I might write a book about that. But I need the hope, building a durable hope. I need to cope. I need to figure out ways to move forward while I try and, baby steps toward building that durable hope. And nope, I know where my line in the sand is. I know my priorities. I have boundaries in place. And this weekend, one of my boundaries is he's going to stay in his room because Mama needs to refill up on her nice. My cup is emptied, and I need a chance to catch my breath, catch my emotional breath. That felt good. And fill up my cup with nice again. So, yeah, that's this week. Not great. But I'm thankful that next week is a short week. And I'm grateful that I will be I'm hosting Thanksgiving dinner and looking forward to spending time with friends and family. And you're actually going to be seeing this video. I'm filming this on Friday, November 22nd, the Friday before Thanksgiving. And I'm going to hopefully get this up for you to see by Monday, November 25th. So if you are getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving, I wish you nothing but the best. And I hope that whether you're enjoying a big meal made by somebody else or contributing yourself or hosting yourself as I am, I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. And thanks so much for watching this video to the end and for being a safe place for me to vent. I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.